am Anjali Istwal, and for our YouTube channel, we are doing a special segment on the Citizenship Amendment Act. The whole legal process of reviewing whether it is valid or not, whether it is constitutional or not, this has all started. It has reached the Supreme Court. 144 petitions were there in Supreme Court today. To talk about this, we have two lawyers with us. We will be talking to Vineet Dhanda as well as Shadan, and we would be discussing how exactly does this impact the people and also the legalities related to it. Shadan, a lot of people are saying the fact that the court has said that we are not going to put a one-sided stay on this is a setback for the ones who have put the petition against the law.
No, not at all. I'll just tell you what happened. I was in the court today. What happened as soon as the matter started, some of the petitioners said, please issue notice in the matter, which was done. They wanted that if the hearing cannot happen soon enough, then in that case, both the CAA implementation as also the NPR process should be suspended for the time being, only if a hearing cannot be done. At this point, the Attorney General for India said that, listen, even on the interim, I don't have all the petitions, I don't have copies, let me file a reply before the court gives any decision. The court said, yes, we must hear both the sides, and that's the normal procedure for the court. Before passing an order, they normally do not pass ex parte order, certainly in a matter like this. They said, we'll wait it out for 4 weeks. The court agreed to refer it to a constitution bench, which is 5 judges, and the matter will now come after 4 weeks before 5 judges who will also hear the interim prayer in respect of stay, what should be done, what should not be done.
But 4 weeks is a long time for the women of Shaheen Bagh to wait, isn't it?
No, it is a long time, but I don't think the attempt of the women of Shaheen Bagh or any of the protesters is to pressurize the court. The court will not get pressurized. It's a mechanism which functions independently. The protesters are really against the policies of the government. I don't think either they are saying that we want a judgment. That's not the way a court functions. The protesters are political in the sense they are opposing the policies of the government, and therefore I think we should disconnect both these things, the court proceedings and the protest.
Okay. Vineet, what in your opinion exactly is because the CAA, people are connecting it to NRC, and the reason that the Shaheen Bagh women are also sitting on a protest is because they connect the two. Do you think in the court this will also come up, or it is just going to be purely CAA?
It will be purely CAA, ma'am, because the petitions are concerning only the Citizenship Amendment Act, and prima facie the stay was not granted because prima facie court did not find it appropriate and fit case to be granted a stay. Firstly. Secondly, I had also mentioned my petition 2-3 days back. My petition is pro CAA because the act talks about the minorities of Bangladesh, Pakistan, and the other one more country is there. Afghanistan. Thanks a lot. So now the minorities who are being persecuted, brutalized there, they have been given the relief here. Now somebody from the political parties have started a new angle that Muslims from our country will be thrown out. That is not the case. It is about to give a citizenship to somebody, not to throw out someone. Firstly, as far as Shaheen Bagh people are concerned, protest is a fundamental right. But protesting, putting a knife in government and saying you do this, abusing the Prime Minister of this country that will kill you. Kids are being taught such things by the people there. That is unfortunate for our country.
Let's not talk about those things in Shaheen Bagh because there are a lot of rumors that get floated around. But of course, the attempt to disconnect CAA from NRC by the government is not working. People are simply not able to see CA without NRC. But there is due reason for it. Because it is very difficult to assume that after CA, NRC is not going to come, because we have heard Home Minister saying it again and again.
But then the Prime Minister has also said that we are not doing anything as far as NRC is concerned at present. At present, the only thing is about Citizenship Amendment Act, and let us concentrate on that. There should be a positive approach in this. If Muslims wanted to be included in Citizenship Amendment Act, they could have given a representation. But what they have done, हम हिंदुओं को भी नहीं आने देंगे, हम बुद्धिस्ट को भी नहीं आने देंगे, हमें इंक्लूड करो वरना कोई नहीं आएगा.
I would like to ask you that the Muslims like Asaduddin Owaisi, when they have submitted, are they asking for the others not getting it, or that they should be included?
The problem with this act is it discriminates amongst those who are already discriminated. The problem is not that you are bringing in X. The problem is that you are consciously leaving out Y and Z. That's the problem. And therefore, he is completely wrong when he says that anybody is opposing who is being included. We are opposing the exclusion of people who are already discriminated.
So if they are opposing who's being excluded, they could have made a representation
Well,
to the government.
what
Kindly see.
stops the government from
Have
taking the
they filed
protest
any
as-
petition? 145 petitions are there. They say you make the act unconstitutional. It's ultra virus. They are not saying kindly recommend the government to
Is
include
the Prime Minister
Muslims.
of this country
None
unaware
of
of
the
the
petition
protest?
says
Is the
that.
Prime Minister of this
You know-
country unaware of the protest? Can't he see the people protesting? What stops him from taking the
Government
decision?
sees everything.
Then
Okay, I think maybe because I have not seen the petitions, of course, and maybe it's not there in the petitions, but this is being again and again reiterated by the political parties. They say, even when the allies say it of the government, that you cannot leave out Muslims. So they are not against the act. They voted for the act in the parliament, but now they say you cannot leave out Muslims.
Ma'am, when the act was discussed strenuously in Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, they made their oppositions right then and there. Mr. Owaisi never said anything about those kind of things there, or any other political party which has created carnage in our country now. They have not said anything about that. And any of the petitions which are opposing CAA doesn't say please include Muslims. They are saying act should be ultra virus.
Okay.
That is not a
the
positive
reason for
approach.
that is the reason for
But
that
I
is-
do want to ask you this. That's a very valid point. It was a missed opportunity in the parliament for most of the parties. They did not make CA or NRC a huge enough issue unless and until the police went inside Jamia and then they hit the children. It became big after the students came out.
Okay, let me say I remember two speeches in Parliament of Ghulam Nabi Azad and Chidambaram. Both pointed out that there are multiple communities which are being wrongly excluded. So for my friend to say, I remember two straight away, I have not even seen all the speeches. So for my friend to say that these issues were not raised is wrong. This is a government which either within the parliament or outside the parliament refuses to listen. You tell them, even what did Amit Shah yesterday said, we will not move come what may. If this is the attitude of the government, people will of course protest.
Okay. Okay. So it seems that the government is also not very, gracious about when they see protests or when they see anybody speaking against them. The government is not very gracious about it. Do you think this fear that is suddenly developing amongst people, about the fact that tomorrow am I going to be thrown out? Tomorrow is my citizenship going to be valid? This is not going to go away once the hearing also starts.
See, the concept, the aggression, can you see? This is aggression which has been imbibed in the minority community of our brother Muslims by the political parties. Please understand that. There is a motive behind this to create an unrest in the country. As far as the CA is concerned, I repeatedly say it was discussed in Parliament. None of the petitions says that please add Muslims in this. They are saying it is ultra virus. Declare
you
it
should-
un-
you should file a petition
no,
now.
It cannot be. My learned friend is not aware of the law. I'm sorry. The court cannot include categories. That is law. Court cannot include categories. Court can say because you have excluded categories, this is arbitrary and unconstitutional. This is settled law. I'm sorry, my friend doesn't know this.
But can someone put in a petition saying that court please order the government to include me in it?
No, you can't. The
cannot.
court can say this is unconstitutional because you have not included. Otherwise, it's not the court's job to add to the text of the parliamentary statute. That's the point. It's settled law. There are multiple
Recommendations
decisions.
can always be made.
Recommendation is not the question.
See, here is a fight about the unrest in the country, people's fear. Nobody is getting thrown out in the process of Citizenship Amendment Act. It is to give citizenship. The Home Minister, Prime Minister have said repeatedly. But certain people are there who understand, but they don't want to understand. That is the apathy of our country.
Now, I'll just wrap up with this. I just want you both to react to this. This is just started now. We have 4 weeks for the central government to reply. They've been given 4 weeks. The Assam issues is going to be taken up separately because it's a little different from the rest of the country. But if 4 weeks is just for the first reply, this is going to be a long, long wait, isn't it?
No, it is going to be a little long, but my assessment is that normally the Supreme Court goes into vacation around May. I think this matter should be heard and reserved at least before May. The judgment should be reserved. By May, I would think so, because I think today Chief Justice also indicated, he did say at one point that we are all very conscious that this is a very important matter and it requires certain urgency. He clearly said that. So I think the court is very aware that yes, there is a certain anxiety in the country over this law and they would want to settle it as soon as possible.
What about you? Do you feel this is going to be a long wait for everyone? It's not just the protesters, the government also. They want some sort of a settlement on this entire issue because it's stopping a lot of things. The government would love to do other things other than just arguing about this.
Ma'am, in my petition, I will be requesting the Honorable Supreme Court when it comes up for hearing next time, that something, at least 2-3 lines be said about the this Citizenship Amendment Act, so that some solace is there to the people of our country that they are not getting thrown out. No Muslim community is getting thrown out, and no injustice will be done to anyone in the process. At least I'll try to pray for that.
Okay. So I would call that not an interim relief but an interim comfort for people that the Supreme Court could offer. That would be something great. Okay, last.
I think people have understood that just on CA nobody is being thrown out. The problem is that you are for the first time bringing in religion as a criteria for citizenship. People are also opposing it in principle. That's why you have all communities opposing it, not just Muslims.
Okay.
See, at the end he has agreed nobody is getting thrown out.
Only under CA.
Only under CA. He
Not
put
under
that.
NRC.
Okay, we are out of time now, but it's 4 weeks is the time given to the government to file a reply. But it's not just the government which would be counting the days to file their replies. It's also the protesters and many other, all the citizens of this country. Everybody has an opinion either on this side or that side, and they would all be waiting for the proceedings to go further. That's all we have for you. Keep watching NDTV's YouTube channel.